Today, I want to speak plainly, clearly, honestly. If you already have health care, you don't have to do anything. And everyone who already has health insurance will keep the benefits and protections this law already has put into place. Period. 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 End of story.
You have or had one of these plans before the Affordable Care Act came into law.
And you really liked that plan. What we said was you could keep it if it hasn't changed since the law's passed. What we said was you could keep it if it hasn't changed since the law's passed.
Today, I want to speak plainly, clearly, honestly. If you already have health care, you don't have to do anything.
Members of Congress, I have the high privilege and the distinct honor of presenting to you the President of the United States.
Thank you. Thank you.
How can we ask our brave young men and women to fight against al-Qaeda in some countries and with al-Qaeda in other countries?
The same people that you are expecting that did September 11 are fighting the people in Syria. They are the same, and you're supporting them, which doesn't really make any sense. That just proves that September 11 was a big joke. It was a big lie.
Those who attacked America on 9/11 are plotting to do so again. If left unchecked, the Taliban insurgency will mean an even larger safe haven from which al-Qaeda would plot to kill more Americans.
When government screwed up in the past, or any other country for that matter, the people responsible for it resigned or they go to jail. And nowadays the answer is give us more funding. And that's what Hillary Clinton said. That's why when FEMA ordered the police to stand down during Katrina on Bush's watch, FEMA got even more funding, saying we need more power. They've engineered that into the system. It's just an amazing level of corruption. Watching the Senate hearings with Hillary Clinton, only part of it is being covered because our government armed the Libyan al-Qaeda rebels out of Saudi Arabia. They first came from Saudi Arabia and other countries into Benghazi 2 years ago to destabilize and take down Libya. They were on the BBC saying next stop Damascus, Syria. They've been there. They've been given heat-seeking missiles. Their numbers are around 15,000, some numbers say 12,000. 10,000 of those heat seekers, pretty high tech. Take down any jet airliner you want. Attacking jet airliners, shooting them up, passenger liners. And the media thinks you're so stupid that they say we have to give all our rights up and invade Africa and Algeria and Mali because Al-Qaeda's there. And then our criminal occupied government uses that as a pretext to invade along with NATO and France, Mali, Algeria, and other areas. It's amazing. They use Al-Qaeda, which they control, to invade all over Africa, North Africa. We know how they operate. We saw the buildup of AFRICOM. So the truth is 100% in plain view, but it's so over the top. People would have to admit the globalists that run our country have hijacked Al-Qaeda. They fund openly Al-Qaeda. It's the only reason we didn't go to war with Syria. It wasn't because the United States grew a conscience or started caring about what the people think. The United States did not go to war with Syria yet because the high-ranking generals within the military were given the order to fight alongside Al-Qaeda, and they refused. So, after that, Obama stood down, and if you remember, John Kerry was speaking and telling us that if we didn't invade Syria, that it was the end of the world. Well, we didn't invade Syria, and it's not the end of the world. That is what we're dealing with right now. What has happened since then? Well, do your research on this statement that Obama simply purged high-ranking officials and generals from the military. Those who said they would not go along and fight alongside Al-Qaeda, he simply got rid of them. And now Syria is back on the table. And so the media spins things and says that, oh, conspiracy theorists think that George W. Bush had a plunger at the World Trade Center. You're saying everyone in the government, the guy that delivers letters, the guy that delivers letters to your post office box, he's behind it. That's the games they play. No. Criminal globalist cartel elements infiltrating the CIA, FBI, NSA, the National Security Council. They finance the politicians that get into power, foreign banks. They've put their people in. And they're using Al-Qaeda to destabilize and overthrow governments or attack Western governments as a pretext for the Western governments to crack down on general population. That is why you see the cameras everywhere. See, so you can see that aspect of what's going on. The other aspects you only see through the filter of the mainstream media. Luckily, we don't have that problem as much anymore because of online communications, which they know that we know. And we know that they know that we know. And now this is all public. And then there's articles like this out of CNS News. Former Special Forces Commander, Top General, was the U.S. government running guns to Syrian rebels via Benghazi? CIA says no. General Boykin goes on to say that the evidence points towards them doing this. But the evidence doesn't point towards it. It's on record that our government, NATO, all run by the megabanks, on record brought Al-Qaeda into Libya, brought them into Syria, invaded from 3 different countries, and had Turkish artillery backing them up, and CIA commandos and British commandos and Saudi Arabian commandos in there helping them attack over the past 20 plus months. Syria. The Turkish ambassador was there. The missile cache was there. There was a double cross, or they wanted to get rid of the witness to it. And they killed the ambassador in order to stand down for 8 hours. And the people they used to kill him, the Al-Qaeda forces, were the US certified, NATO certified security for Benghazi.
Trayvon Martin could have been me.
Well, some lawmakers want to know why the Department of Homeland Security is apparently on a huge ammo buying spree. This is a just-placed order for more than 300,000 bullets, just the latest in a series of contracts that could add up to more than 1.5 billion rounds of ammo over the next 5 years. Critics say that's enough bullets to supply the equivalent of the Iraq War for 24 years, and they want to know why the DHS is doing it. Congressman Doug LaMalfa is one of the lawmakers demanding answers. The California Republican joins us now via Skype from Redding, California. Congressman, good to see you. So let's cut right to the chase, because some of the conspiracy theorists online say this is our government buying up bullets to use against us. Are you one of those who believes that?